I'm calling the meeting to order now. Dakota Brown, I am the chair. I am the liaison to people with disabilities for Riverside County University Health System Behavioral Health. It would be lovely to see folks if you're comfortable with turning on your camera. I think it helps us interact. Um, oh, Alyssa's here. Thank you. Letitia made it. Oh, Claudia's here. Thank you. And Mindy. Oh, this is so wonderful. So if you haven't yet, would you please put your name and your organization into the chat? If you have any questions for me, you can come off mic or you can do it in the chat because I have it open most of the time. I'm going to share this slide because if this is your first meeting, would love it if you would use QR code to fill out our membership form. If you've been to meetings before, then you don't have to do this, but I would love it because this is how we learn who you are and we can get a sense of how we can serve you best. I do identify as disabled. I have a hearing disability, and I'm in recovery from my mental illness symptoms. You know what I can also do is this membership questionnaire. I'm going to copy and paste it into the chat if the QR code doesn't work for you. Yeah, this just helps us determine where in the county disability services are most needed. It tells us where to put our funding. Once again, only if this is your first meeting. I do want to let you know this meeting is accessible. You can get captions by clicking down below where it says captions. And then, of course, we've got our ASL person, Sarah, here. I've pinned her. I think we can go right into our land acknowledgement. Do we have somebody who is willing to volunteer to read the land acknowledgement? Of course, Joseph.
Land acknowledgement. Riverside University Health System Behavioral Health acknowledges the traditional, ancestral, and contemporary homelands of the indigenous peoples of Southern California, whose land it occupies. The Cahuilla, Cupeno, Lucinia, and Chimguewe, Chimguewe.
Yes.
Peoples and their ancestors have been here since time immemorial, caring for the land with great integrity. The first peoples honored the earth, animal, and planet beings, the water, and all peoples that live here. We acknowledge this reciprocal relationship and intend to continue and extend the values of caring and emotional wellness to all Indigenous peoples, Native Americans, and residents of Riverside County. RUHS Behavioral Health creates relationships built on trust and accountability with its community members. With this land acknowledgement, Riverside University Health System Behavioral Health commits to be respectful to and mindful of tribal sovereignty, culture, and beliefs of the indigenous peoples of this land.
Thank you so much, Joseph. I do want to mention that in November, the U.S. Post Office on Sunrise in Palm Springs has been renamed in honor of the late Richard M. Milanovich. Now, he served as the tribal chairman of the Agua Caliente brand of Cahuilla Indians from 1984 to 2012, and he oversaw any champion gaming on tribal land, considered one of the most influential Indian leaders in the country. And he is the father of our Native American wellness group culture liaison, Sean Milanovich. So that's kind of neat. He is like my counterpart for Native American, just as Shirley is here, and she is my counterpart for the Hispanic Latinx group. All right. I always like to give you some information about Indigenous peoples after our land acknowledgement. And you know that I value your input. The county values your inputs, and we'd love for you to contribute today. This isn't my meeting, this is y'all's meeting. So we do have some community agreements, take space, make space. We have respect for diverse opinions. If you need to step away, that's fine. We want you to take care of your needs. If you have accessibility needs that aren't being met, please contact me and we can discuss that. There is a meeting recording. And I edit the recording myself. So if you share anything here that you would like me to pull out of the recording, I will do that. I want this to feel safe for you. And we can go over these, change these agreements. This is a living document. Time to go over last month's minutes. It was our party, but we still got a little bit of business done. So if you were attending and your name is on there, please make sure that we've spelled it properly.
My name's spelled incorrectly, Dakota. I only have one W. Thanks.
Okay. W. Perfect. Thank you, Leah. Let's see if I can make that a little bigger for you. Okay. We did call the meeting after we all got our goodies and ate. We did our icebreaker question and decided that there's a lot of positions at Santa's workshop that need filling. The minutes were approved, talked about how we met with the membership committee. A recognition ceremony. And here, Will, since you weren't there and you haven't received it yet, oh, let me find it here. I wanted to highlight it for you. Will Rogers received the Champagne Award. That's for your sparkling personality. All right. Now, this time they spelled your name right, Leah. We'll make sure
That's true.
Spelled that
Well,
way.
thank you. I don't know if I deserve that award, but
you absolutely do.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you know this, but Will is on the track. He's involved in a year-long training for, it's a nonprofit business training.
Yeah, the certification course in nonprofit management.
Yeah. And so Fridays, normally he can't be here, but probably because it's a holiday week, we are so glad to have you with us, Will.
Yes.
All right. We did some unfinished business and yeah. So is there anything anybody needs to see again? And if not, can I have somebody move that we approve these minutes as with the correction of Leah's name?
Donna Butler here. I approve the minutes.
I will second those.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So Tana moved, we approved, and Will seconded. So let me just go ahead and throw it to our co-chair. This is our time to really set our intention for what we want to accomplish today. And so we have a meditation that Tana Butler is going to lead us through. Tana.
Good afternoon, everyone. I promise it's going to be longer than 5 seconds this time. Okay, so if we can sit back in our chairs and relax. And if we can point our toes upward towards your knees. And breathe at the same time. Breathe in, breathe out. And then you can release your toes. And if you could put your knees together and just give them a good squeeze. And keep breathing. Make sure you do that breathing exercise with it. And release. And then you're going to bring your arms up. You're going to make your strength like you're the strongest person in the world. Just tighten them. Oh, Dakota's fighting over there with hers. Calm down, Dakota. And then release. And then if you can rotate your shoulders, just make sure you keep doing your breathing. And then rotate them the opposite direction. And then Dakota really likes this one. You guys got to pucker up like you're kissing and scrunch your face. Ready? And release. And now you're going to keep breathing. Inhale and exhale. Just think about all the good plans you have for the weekend while you're doing that breathing exercise. Inhale and exhale. And then you're going to open your eyes and come back to reality. That yes, thank God it's Friday, and now we're going to shake it off and wake our bodies up. There you go. Good job, everyone. Thank you for doing meditation with me.
Thank you so much. You're getting rounds of applause and hearts, Tana.
Woohoo.
Well, to help wake us up, then we're going to do our icebreaker. If you want to come off your microphone and share your name, your organization, and something you're hoping for in 2025. Maybe you're hoping for something for yourself or your family or our country or the planet. Would love to hear. And you can put it in the chat if you like. Alyssa, thank you for that correction on the minutes. I will make a note of it.
Yes, my organization is finally official. The Hemet Beat has become a LLC. Yesterday, I put it into the Hemet San Jacinto Chronicle and paid for it. I got my receipt, so it can be published for the next 4 weeks. And I'm doing business with the Hemet Concert Association. I'm actually preparing them a marketing plan right now. And my hope is that for 2025, I will be able to partner with the Hemet Concert Association and create a strong relationship that will carry on for years to come.
Love it. Thank you. And then on to back that, your daughter Lyric has her hand up. She's going to share.
Hi, I'm Lyric. Organization. I go to RCC. I'm a student. I work as a CNA. And something I hope for in 2025, I'm supposed to start LVN school in August.
That is so exciting. Oh, I bet your dad is thrilled about that. You take
I
care of
hope
him
so.
in his old age.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you so much,
I'm
Lyric.
grateful that God is moving in her life and that she has a compassion for those with illnesses. And I didn't expect it. You never know what they're going to grow up to do, but at least she's going to college, and I'm appreciative of that.
Wonderful. Who else would like to share their
I'm
answer
going to
to
jump in because I have to
Yes.
follow Lyric. So my name is Pam Starr, and I am the director at the DRC Disability Resource Center at Riverside City College. And Lyric worked for us for a while. And so I'm just thrilled to see the journey that her passion and her education is taking her on. So Lyric, my hope for something in 2025 is that you show no limits in what you can do.
Thank you. Pamela, it's so great to see you here. Thank you for sharing all that. Yeah. You know what? I have this quote on my desk that Leah gave me. It always seems impossible until it's done. And I love that. That's a Nelson Mandela quote. All right. Icebreaker question. Who else wants to share? Or put it in the chat. I see Letitia is hopeful for positive change in our communities and more collaboration. Yeah. Daisy's wishing everybody have a healthy 2025. Sarah, she's hoping for good physical and emotional health in 2025. And the county wants to help out with that, right? Claudia, hoping to continue to support the community with services, physical, healthy living workshops and presentations. Claudia, I just love that heart to serve that you have. I guess you're well aware that service serves ourselves too, makes us feel better. Who else?
Good afternoon.
Hi.
I'm a new Claudia. Claudia Rios is the one that you usually hear. I'm the new Claudia. I'm also from Reach Out. And I think I met you, Dakota, in one of our EI meetings.
Yeah.
And I'm really Claudia Rios was the one that invited me to this meeting today, and I hope to continue collaborating with you guys and learn more from this group. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much. Appreciate you sharing with us.
I will share.
America? Yeah,
This,
go for it, Will.
this is Will Rogers. He, will, him, and I'm with Southern California Adaptive Sports, and looking forward to 25. 24 was tough, but we made it through. I heard some good news this morning about how we're going to start off 25, and it's going to be awesome. I'd like everybody to check us out through a website and come hiking with us. Come enjoy some of the programs with our other participants.
Thank you, Will. SoCalAdaptiveSports.com?
Org.
Oh, .org. Okay. Putting that in the chat right now for anybody who's interested.
I'm also hoping for to complete this school.
Yeah.
25. And I don't know if I'm going to get to liking technology before or after I'm required to have it done. But I'm getting better at it.
A lot of us are just pulled kicking and screaming into the future. America is hoping that housing prices go down and become more accessible. Thank you so much, America. Tana.
So my hope for 2025 is to start a jacket drive for the unhoused.
To collect used jackets or raising money to buy new jackets for people who are unhoused.
Yes, it could be both. If you want to do used jackets, just go through your closets and we can use jackets, sweaters. They're coming into the Peer Center and they're cold, and we've given out all of our jackets, so we can really use more. And that's for Riverside County Behavioral Health Peer Center.
You know, you just state it and it happens. So you already have somebody in the chat who says, I have so many I can donate, Tana, and that's Alyssa. So I'll make sure you two are connected via email.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Wonderful. Tana, that's just more of the heart to serve, and you've got that. Thank you so much. Who else?
I'll go real quick, Dakota.
Thank you, Shirley.
Hi, everyone. My name is Shirley Guzman. I'm a cultural community liaison for the Latinx Hispanic community throughout Riverside County. And something that I'm hoping for in 2025 is to get back into some sort of exercise routine, whether it's just a stroll in the park down the street for me or anything like that, just to focus more on my health, my physical health and my mental health.
Thank you, Shirley.
Can I add to Shirley's?
Sure can.
I really enjoy walking around the county office. So if I do it twice, it's like 2,624 steps. And you get to talk to people as they're walking or if they're just going to their car. So I find that very motivating for me, and that's I'm happy that you're gonna do that this year.
I like that you're getting your physical and your social needs met at the same time.
Right.
This is just a picture of our party last time. If you didn't get a chance to share, you can throw that in the chat too. So I've mentioned our multicultural symposium we're putting together. It's going to be probably the second week in March. And it's called Why Culture Matters: Whole Person, Behavioral and Spiritual Health in Diverse Communities. It'll be in Moreno Valley. And we're putting our budget together. Our own Joseph Page will perform. We've got 2 dance groups. We're working to sign last year's drummers. Let me play a little bit of this for you. Just a little sample of it. So the ask that we are getting is, will we donate 2 gift bags to this for door prizes or incentives? And I found these 2 Costco. Misty will get back to me on if Costco is still one of our suppliers for POP, but for $40, we can get the Tradition Tea Pot Tower gift set and then the Movie Marathon Gourmet Popkin gift set. So what I have actually is a poll, so we can take a quick vote, and launch it. And see if everybody agrees. Shall the Wait Alliance contribute two $40 gift baskets to the Multicultural Symposium? And so give you a few minutes to answer if that's okay with you. We like to check in with all of you before we spend money, because it's your money, it's your meeting. The dance groups that we have signed are the Tinikling Indigenous Filipino Dance Group and Lohota, which is a Filipino dance and Hispanic influence group. We're going to have food from many cultures. We'll talk about customs, clothing, performances, resources, of course. And I believe we've got laughing yoga as one of our activities, and possibly our deaf connection will be teaching some sign language. All right, about 5 more seconds in the poll. Yes or no? Can we spend the money? Did the poll, it did launch, right?
Yes, it did. It is at 100% yes.
It is yes. Okay. I need to click OK on this. All right, good. So we will do that. I appreciate the feedback on them. Thank you so much. And now we get to talk about Ed Roberts. I didn't know about this man at all before I started this work, and I'm just blown away from him. I always have been. So I am going to go ahead and play it for you. So let me stop the share, and then I'll do a reshare. Here we go. Stand by. Here it comes.
Title slide, freewheeling.
I've had people come up to me and say, "Oh, I'd rather be dead than be like you." Good morning, good morning. And they miss it so much because life is such a joy. There's so much to life if you're into it. There's so many reasons to die if you're not at all.
Ed Roberts has helped millions of people find a reason to live. He helped launch a civil rights movement for people with disabilities so they could live freely integrated in their communities, not shut away in institutions. But when he first contracted polio at the age of 14, that idea was a long way off. His mother, Zona Roberts, remembers all too well the doctor's attitude when he told her Ed would live.
The next morning I said to the doctor I was glad that he had survived, and he wanted to know why. Would I like to spend the rest of my life in an iron lung, and what it'd be like? The poor man was horrified.
Roberts himself did not want to live.
When I decided to die in the beginning, people told me basically that I would have no life. And when you're in an iron lung and you're paralyzed from the neck down, in a hospital where their whole job is to save your life, you've got to be pretty creative to kill yourself.
Roberts starved himself down to 50 pounds, and then the last of his special duty nurses left her post.
The next day I decided to live and I started eating. And I know what the reason was. There is nothing in life if you're not in control of what happens to you. And I think that was when I began to realize that I had a choice over living and dying. And that I really wanted to live and to take control of my own life.
Except for 2 fingers, Roberts is paralyzed from the neck down. He spends much of his time in an iron lung. But from the beginning, he learned to sit in a wheelchair, and he learned to breathe with the help of a portable respirator, forcing air into his lungs.
Ed Roberts talks to students.
And he learned to challenge society's low expectations of himself and other people with disabilities. He decided that his body may be limited, but his mind was not. The kid who had lived for baseball turned seriously to school, attending high school by phone hookup.
So I can remember wheeling down this for the first time in 1962, and there was a demonstration.
Roberts convinced a skeptical University of California to admit him. He became the first severely disabled student to attend. He had to live in Cowell Infirmary, the only place big enough for his 800-pound iron lung. Newspapers headlined the conventional wisdom. He proved them wrong, eventually earning a master's degree. And soon other quadriplegics joined him on campus. They called themselves the Rolling Quads and began inventing a new world for themselves.
We realized that we could change some things. The first thing we do is change our own attitudes to ourselves. Be proud of who we were and what we were. And go out and change it for others and for ourselves. The most important part of that is working with other people. Moving away from your own problems to help somebody else. And that liberated me. when I realized I could help others, it made me a lot freer to help myself.
At the university, the Rolling Quads literally opened the door for other students like them. They remade the Berkeley campus into one of the most physically accessible in the country, with a program designed to aid students with disabilities. Hundreds have earned their degrees since then, without living like patients in the infirmary.
What's it like living here now? Is it very different?
Naomi Armenta is a senior.
I guess so. It is pretty much the only place I've ever been where I can be kind of anonymous as the disabled person. You know, people say, oh, the woman in the wheelchair, and they don't automatically know it's me. There are people around here in wheelchairs that I don't know. So, I mean, that's kind of nice in a way because it takes the pressure off. You know, you don't always have to be an activist for yourself.
Roberts and his friends realized that access to education was only a beginning. They wanted to leave the campus, have jobs, and participate in their communities like everyone else.
And to recognize that we didn't want to live in an institution. I remember one dean at the university said, oh, you'll finish your PhD, and then you'll live in a nursing home. And I said, no, that's not the plan. We're here to change that whole idea.
Their new idea they called independent living.
Independent living is a psychological idea much more than a physical concept.
Assistant helps Roberts into car.
I'm paralyzed from the neck down, but I'm completely in control of my own life. I make decisions about what I want. And when you begin to believe that, it's very empowering and powerful. And then it becomes, it's almost, when it catches on with other people, they see, well, if he can do that, why can't I?
They set up a place to spread that word and provided job training, housing referral, and skills to live ordinary lives. The center turned Berkeley into the first city with curb cuts, providing people with the most basic access to independent living. There are now hundreds of these centers throughout the world.
Our whole philosophy was, do not make other people with disabilities dependent on you. And our whole professional system is set up that way. Always ask, what do you want to do? Help people learn how to make their own decisions in their life. And you know what? It's that simple.
In 1975, Roberts had caught the eye of Governor Jerry Brown, who put him in charge of the California Department of Rehabilitation and its 2,200 employees. Along the way, Roberts had shattered another myth.
I was always told that I could never drive a power wheelchair, which meant that anytime I needed to move, I had to ask someone. And one thing you become very leery of is asking for too much. So you cut out part of your life, the things you'd like to do.
Like falling in love.
And all of a sudden, it became ridiculously inconvenient to have my attendant pushing me around. It was a real hindrance to intimacy. And being highly motivated, I decided to hell with all those comments, and I couldn't do it. I needed it for my life, and they got me in a power chair. And all we had to do is turn the controller around so I could pull. And I bounced off the walls a few times, and she jumped on my lap, and we run off in the sunset.
Roberts eventually married and fathered a son, Lee, now 16 years old. Roberts is divorced, but shares custody.
Ed and Lee Roberts at a baseball game.
Awesome. I was told I would never be able to have a child. And it was one of those myths again. I mean, it just took finding the right woman in the right circumstances and getting together. And we had a kid. And he's totally the joy of my life. He teaches me every day that disability is irrelevant because I'm Dad. I'm his father. And you can be a father in a wheelchair, or you can be a father walking around.
Lee feeds Ed fries.
You can be father in a lot of ways.
Lee fixes Ed's respirator.
In 1983, Roberts co-founded and became president of the World Institute on Disability, a think tank which focuses on disability policy in an international arena. While there, he was awarded a MacArthur Foundation Genius Grant. In the national arena, one of the disability rights movement's greatest legislative achievements was the Americans with Disabilities Act. It bars discrimination in employment and guarantees access to public buildings, transportation, and communication services.
And today's legislation brings us closer to that day when no Americans will ever again be deprived of their basic guarantee of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
But laws are one thing, their implementation is another. Roberts was reminded of that one day on a visit to Washington, D.C. He was scheduled to appear live on CNN TV. The man who was instrumental in the first curb cuts in the nation missed the interview. Why? Right in front of the Capitol building, he had to search for a curb cut.
I think as we train professionals, architects, and others who work on this, they need to understand better what barrier-free design really means. It's good for everybody. When you put a curb cut in, not only can you get around, but so can strollers and all kinds of other things on wheels get around. So when we make changes, it's not for a large group.
People marching.
There are still other obstacles. They want the billions of dollars spent on shutting people away in institutions to be spent on attendance and assistive technology. Then, more of them can become productive, tax-paying members of their community at less cost to society and to themselves.
Right now, 75% of us are unemployed. Staggering figure, 75% of us. We have to show our society that disability doesn't affect work. If you're motivated to work, no matter how disabled, you can do a good job. You might need a little technology, you might need a little help, like personal assistance, but you can do the job.
There are many besides Roberts showing that they can do the job, and it doesn't necessarily require expensive technology. Hale Zukas is a policy analyst for the World Institute. He's been a major player in access to public transportation, including making elevators operable without the help of an attendant.
Man in power chair calls elevator.
You were actually in Arlington and in DC.
Sometimes he needs an interpreter. Sometimes he needs a conversation board to express himself. But he's shown that, like streets without curb cuts, those are limitations that can be overcome. Yanina Saika became totally blind as a young adult. Each day she comes to work past a chirping street light. It lets her know when to cross. Those lights are partly the work of the Center for Independent Living. She manages WITNET, which puts people with disabilities on the information superhighway, and her job has been made possible by a talking computer.
Visually impaired woman typing.
But for all the progress that's been made in legislation and technology, society's myths still hold fast.
And our number one issue is still old attitudes towards us. And those old attitudes see us as helpless and unable. And disability can make you very strong and very able.
Okay, we're back. If you wish to talk to Ed Roberts, a victim of polio.
Not a victim.
Not a victim.
Not a victim. No, I think that's a real misperception.
What is the correct perception?
I was disabled by polio, but I am not a victim of polio in any sense of the word.
Technology, Roberts thinks, can level the playing field and help change those attitudes.
When I got my power chair, I didn't realize how much it would change me and the way I was perceived. When you're pushed up, people talk to the other person. And all of a sudden, people had to deal directly with me. Not only could I go wherever I wanted to go, when I wanted to go, but people didn't overlook me. They might look above me, but they had to deal with me directly, and that was very powerful.
At a march on Washington, disability rights leaders and congressional leaders alike sought him out.
What Ed Roberts has done, I think, for the disability community is he has gone to lawmakers and leaders in legislation and in the business community to show that even someone who is severely disabled, like Ed, can be mobile, he's smart as a whip, he can get a job done, he can organize, he can communicate effectively, and there's no reason why he should be discriminated against.
A lot of years ago, I decided that people were going to stare at me, and it was a lot better if I decided I was a star rather than a helpless cripple.
Ed at Lincoln Memorial.
We could change a lot of our own attitudes that way.
For all his accomplishments, Roberts likes to say that he's not a superhero, just a role model. Living proof that severely disabled people can be masters of their own destinies.
Hey, we are here. And we are not going away.
thank you for staying with us through that. Ed Roberts was amazing. And the Rolling Quads, I don't know if you've heard me say this or not, but in the middle of the night and at Berkeley, they would take a sledgehammer to the curb, right? So that was just the kind of out of the system advocacy that they did. So with that, we're going to do our Ed Roberts trivia question for a $20 gift card to Starbucks. Multiple choice. You can either come off camera and say the answer, or you can put it into the chat, A, B, C, or D. And here is your question. Although Ed Roberts excelled in high school, they refused to graduate him because he refused to participate in the school plays. He hadn't taken PE or driver's ed. His social justice activities interfered with his schoolwork. He did not know the middle name of the school mascot.
B?
Yes, who said that?
Me, Claudia Rios.
Claudia! Oh, well done, Claudia. Nice. Yes, he hadn't taken PE and driver's ed, but what he did was he won a petition to receive his diploma. Thank you so much, Claudia. I don't know if I have your mailing address. Why don't you either email it to me or put it in the chat?
Okay.
And you can just direct it to me in the chat if you just want me to have it. Yeah, your card will be in the mail.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
You are so welcome.
Just like you, Dakota, this is the very first time that I get to hear about him, and it almost brought me to tears. So powerful.
So you didn't know?
No,
you didn't
I
know
didn't.
that. You just made a guess.
Yes, it was very powerful,
I'm
very
so glad.
motivational.
Yeah, it took me back to Leah's quote. It always seems impossible until it's done. There's another one I love, which is those who say it cannot be done should not interrupt those doing it. Okay. I wanted to mention about Social Security. This just came over halfway through December. They've simplified the online SSI application. In order to see the story, I am going to put that into the chat if you want to look up more information. In the meantime, I'll just tell you that this whole thing makes the application process so much easier. It's part of the Social Security Agency's commitment to improving access. So SSI provides monthly payments to adults and kids with disabilities, as well as people 65 and over who have limited resources. And based on customer testing, they've reduced the number of questions from 54 to as few as 12, depending on how an applicant responds. So just some of the stuff to know. The enhanced online application is available if you are 18 to 64 years old and applying. If you've never been married, have never applied for SSI for yourself or an adult, and are a U.S. citizen or non-citizen. So I just wanted to sort of make that announcement. The details of that. Oh, Claudia, thank you so much for your address. The details are in the chat. Tana, you've got your hand up.
Yes, I do. I wanted to add to that Social Security. So me being on Social Security myself, don't be shocked that they deny you the first couple of times. It's what they do. But just keep appealing it until you get approved, because if you need it, you need it. And you'll know, and your doctors will know if you need it. And if you need doctors to fight for you, have your doctor stand by you and help fight for your disability needs and to get on that.
I've heard it's very rare that an application goes through the first time. It's almost just customary that you have to reapply and reapply. Yeah. Thank you for that information, Tana. I appreciate it. And you know what? Thank you for being open about being on Social Security. Sometimes people have some shame around that. Sometimes people are judgmental, and this transparency that you just modeled for the rest of us is something to be appreciated. Thank you for that. I think we can just jump to the round table. Is your organization having something that you want to share about? Feel free to come off mic or put it in the chat if you have any flyers. Email this to me.
I have something. I'm Claudia Iglesias from Reach Out. I'm a outreach specialist, and I'll be doing a presentation, a healthy living presentation workshop on January 17th from 10:30 to 12. And if you or someone is interested, please contact me to register. And I put it in the chat, the flyer, and you guys could share it too.
Oh, okay. The healthy lifestyle. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Claudia.
This
Awesome.
is Will from SoCal Adaptive Sports. We have a hike going on tomorrow at the Randall Henderson Trail. There's an address on the flyer if you look up our website or get the newsletter. And then there's one I'm also going, and that's in Palm Desert. So it would be wonderful. It's beautiful outside. Please come and join if you can.
Thank you, Will. So should I go online and find the flyer myself then, or do you have a copy of it you can email?
I'm not like,
that's fine.
If I like technology, I could pull it up and send it out. If you look up our organization, you will see the hike at the Randall Henderson Trail. It's just a few miles up from El Paseo in Palm Desert. Some sand, some hard packed, and if I remember right, they show us some rock formations. And the last time we did this Randall Henderson, we scared some bighorn sheep down off the ridge, and we had to use their bodies to divert them back up on the ridge so that they wouldn't try crossing Highway 74. So, there's always excitement. It's nice to observe Mother Nature.
That's neat. Claudia asked about the newsletter, so I put in the chat. You can email Mike and he'll get you on the newsletter receiving list, and it's Mike at socaladaptivesports.org. Thank you.
Daisy had a question.
Yes, Daisy.
Yeah, I have an announcement. We have our upcoming Riverside County Health Coalition meeting on January 22nd at the City of Paris Council Chambers. The topic for this meeting will be exercising our civic muscle, addressing health challenges through strategic collaboration and partnerships. And we're really excited to kick off another set of quarterly meetings for the year where we talked about the Community Health Improvement Plan and all the great work that's being done to gather input from the community so we can start working on action steps. And again, that will take place on January 22nd. And from 10 to noon, it is offered in person as well as Zoom. So if you can't join us at the City of Paris, you're always welcome to join us via Zoom.
Thank you so much, Daisy. I love what public health is doing. They're doing some amazing work in there. If you've ever wanted to get involved in changing the world, it's a great organization because they do things. They get together, they have focus groups. They talk about what do we want to accomplish this year. So, Daisy.
Perfect.
Wonderful. Joseph.
Yes. Hi, everybody again. So I'm going to put in the chat the Hemet Beat Facebook page, my phone number, and the email. And if you have anything that you have going on coming up for the future forward, please contact me to help let me get the information if I can support you in making graphics, reels, things like that we can publicize through the Hemet Beat and push your events around the greater Los Angeles area, because raising awareness, is a big deal. Please contact me and let me know how I can be a support to you. This group has a very big chunk of my heart. And also, there was one more thing. So besides just making the reels and the content and flyers and things like that, there's an opportunity for you to actually do I'd like to do messenger chats. So if you have Facebook, we could do a messenger chat where I'm able to share my screen, you're able to share your screen, and I have the capability of recording you on that chat, and it turns into a Hemet Beat podcast, making the Riverside County and greater Los Angeles area aware of your organization, what you're doing in the county, and whatever you got going on. we're going to make people aware of it, you know, and see how much support we can get using the Hemet beat now that we have this strength.
And Joseph, do you do that free of charge or do you charge for that?
At this point, right now, we're getting the ball rolling. And, you know, if you have donations you want to make or things like that, contributions, I don't feel right just charging this group like that. You know, I'm sure money will come, especially as people see what we're doing, you know, but if you want to really make an impact, get a nice budget between 100, 200, 500, $1,000. And I will show you where your money goes and how we put it to ads to make these things happen. If you want more graphics than what I'm willing to provide for you, are reels and videos and commercials and things like that, you know, those things would cost. But for something basic, saying, hey, Joseph, we just want to get this word out there, boom, we got that. For featuring on the Hemet beat and being willing to be vulnerable, talk about your disability and things like that in your organization. No, I'm sure that somebody will want to support the Hemet Beats efforts as we proceed. But there is no cost that I'm putting out there for this group right here.
I have a feeling you're going to be a big shot in a year or so. So this is the time to take advantage of your trying to get up to speed and offering some deals. Thank you so much, Joseph.
Okay.
Tana?
Yeah, Dakota, would you be willing to feature on the Hemet Beat? Can we
Absolutely.
do a podcast on you? When would
You
be a
know
good
it.
time? Let me
You know what? I'll talk about disability. Anybody who'll let me. Yeah, it's a date. Let me know more and I'll set that up with you. Thank you, Joseph. Tana.
First of all, I want to thank everyone for coming. It's been an amazing group. And the second thing is the newcomers. If you guys can please send your emails, you could do it privately if you want to Dakota. That way we know how to send you the links that aren't coming up and the next meeting, and you won't miss out for the next month.
Yeah, thank you, Tana. I appreciate that. If you received an invite to this meeting, we probably have your email, but for instance, Claudia gave you this link. Let us get your email so that you can automatically receive invitations. That'd be great. You can email it to me. You can put it in the chat. Thank you so much, Mary Jane. You already did that. I just wanted, and we can continue with announcements, but I did want to put the link up here one more time. If this is your first meeting and you would like to fill out the membership form to let us know more about you and where in the county you are and what your needs are, then that would be appreciated. Any more community announcements? You can, if you want, you can upload your files, your brochures yourself to our shared drive, and then you can download those also. And here's a question I have about the video. Would you guys like me to edit out the part where we scrunched up our faces? Or do you want that to be on the video that we eventually... I was scrunching going, I don't know if I want everybody to see this.
In my opinion, Dakota, it adds character, okay?
Okay. Unless I hear otherwise, I'm going to leave that in then. Okay.
Dakota, can I say something quickly?
Absolutely.
I just remembered, and I just wanted to share with this group that the eating disorder project, which is now called Mindful Body and Recovery Program, we're just putting out a parent partner job description. So if anyone's interested in applying for that job, go ahead and go to, it's a parent youth partner, and the job is in Paris right now. At the Paris CHC, but it is associated with our eating disorder project, and you can see the job description. But since we have this meeting going on,
yeah,
I just wanted to let everyone know that, and I think it's only going to be up for about a week or so. So you know, go check it out and see if it's something you're interested in.
Is that a peer support specialist position?
It is. It is. And
great. Okay, if you feel complete, We are trying to make these meetings go an hour and 15 minutes, and we hit it. Thank you so much, Sarah, for doing our accessibility. And I am declaring this meeting adjourned. And thank you so much.